Here at CPAC, and Sonnie, you gave the introduction for Andrew Breitbart yesterday, and it was really electrified the audience. Did you feel that swell coming from everyone?
Yeah, I did. Everyone always asks me, do you look at the audience when you speak? And I said, that's where you get your motivation from. Yeah. And it's just like in most things you do in activism as far as politics goes. If you look to the people first, they'll give you everything you need to get there.
So what were they giving you yesterday as you're talking about Andrew Breitbart and what a fighter he is and how much people hate him? What were you getting back from the audience?
That they understand. I'm guessing that a few people in the audience have had that battle themselves, and they realize that it's a lot that we go through, especially those who have more public face, because they take so much of it just being regular individuals trying to talk to their family and their friends, and imagine it being amplified when you're Andrew Breitbart. So,
well, let's put Andrew aside for a minute. Let's talk about Sonnie Johnson, because what really moved me when you gave the speech is when you started it by talking about all the things that you get called, all of the hateful, terrible names that you get called. How do you deal with that?
Well, I came up, it was the way I was raised. I think God gave me everything I needed from birth so to be able to withstand this, because that's kind of the community that I was growing up in. I grew up in with the name calling and with the, you had to learn sticks and stones very, 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 very early. So now when I'm at a point where if you couldn't break my bones back then, then you're really not going to do it now when I'm actually devoted and I really mean and stand up for the principles that I espouse.
Now, so we've heard from elected officials like Alan West and Tim Scott, and we hear from other grassroots black conservatives who are here and trying to say, keep talking to us, keep it going, there is a movement here. How real is that? Is it? What can we do to really start to build this coalition amongst minorities? Because what the message that conservatives have is not specific to any race, it's an American.
I have a simple message because, I'm working with a lot of young conservatives who maybe you don't know their name yet, but we're coming. And we just say, hustle hard, hustle legit, they can't take it from you, and build and stack your money, and that's capitalism, that's the conservative principles. And there's other things that go along with it, like you don't want the government to get big enough that they will tax the money that you earn away from you. So that's kind of the message that we're trying to change, where you have the Alan West and you have Tim Scott, you have those kind of guys, and they're doing their message. It's also a new group of us that are trying to reach the youth to understand that a lot of the things that you find in hip-hop, a lot of the things that you find in our culture, comedy-wise, as well as most of the TV programs, are very conservative. And no one points it out. It's not a voice that is there saying that most of our culture is conservative. When you try to liberalize the hip-hop community, that's when people stop paying attention. But if you give a pro-capitalism message, a pro-God message, a pro-limited government and self-independence message, then you win the black community. But we need to know how to take that and culturally attach it to conservatism.
I mean, you would think for the black, I would think for any community in America, a message of liberty, freedom, leave me alone, let me live my own life, that's going to resonate. That's what people want to hear.
But when it's tricked around, and that's what the liberals do so well, is they make you feel like that's unaccessible, that you can't get to that. They give you that feeling like there's a big boogeyman and they're never going to let you get to that point. And I think that's when you get them to say, I don't care about the boogeyman, I'm going after it anyway. That's where the difference is. But you don't really get to get that message out because they're always on defense. They're like, I'm not this, I'm not that.
We spend so much time saying what we're not.
I don't play defense. I'm like, all right, you can say I'm whatever you gonna say I am, but let me talk about money some more. And that's how I go about it. Is that you're not gonna get me on your subject. I'm gonna get you to stay on mine. And I think that's the change of direction that we need. That is actually going to make a breakthrough in the black community.
Can you see why Andrew Breitbart asked Sonnie Johnson to introduce her yesterday at CPAC? All right, one last question. Actually, two last questions. If Al Sharpton and MSNBC asked you to be a guest on his show, would you go?
Of course, I would go with bells. And what did Breitbart say? He gave us all dog whistles. I would carry my dog whistle and I would have fun blowing it.
So my last question is not for you. It's for Al Sharpton.
Ha!
Al Sharpton, what are you afraid of? Why haven't you asked Sonnie Johnson to come on your show yet? I think that's an interview that will get you ratings. This is Larry O'Connor with Breitbart News here at CPAC 2012 with Sonnie Johnson. Sonnie, thank you.
Thank you.